There is a version of you that you learn to hide very early. The woman who says no without guilt. The woman who trusts what she sees. The woman who wants without apologizing for wanting. The woman who can be loving without being endlessly accommodating. The woman who can disappoint someone and survive their disappointment. The woman who can lose a relationship without losing herself. She did not disappear. She went underground, and accessing your dark feminine energy may have far less to do with becoming mysterious, seductive, cold, or dangerous than with recovering the parts of yourself you were taught were unacceptable. While Carl Jung never actually used the term dark feminine energy, he did spend much of his work exploring something remarkably relevant to it: the shadow. Jung believed that as we develop a conscious identity, we inevitably leave certain qualities outside of it. And for many women, that process begins very early. Be pleasant, be agreeable, don't be selfish, don't be difficult, don't be too loud, don't be too ambitious, don't be angry, don't want too much, don't make people uncomfortable. Be desirable, but not threatening. Be confident, but not intimidating. And eventually, a woman may become so skilled at being acceptable that she loses contact with everything in herself that was not allowed into the performance. Her anger, her appetite, her authority, her ambition, her sensuality, her instinct, her refusal, even her confidence. Those qualities don't cease to exist. They enter the shadow. And Jung understood something important about the shadow. It doesn't contain only what is destructive. Sometimes it contains what is powerful, what is gifted, what is alive, what you were simply never given permission to become. So awakening your dark feminine energy is not about manufacturing darkness. It is about discovering what has already been living there. Here are 7 ways to begin. Number 1. Meet the woman you judge. One of the strangest doors into the shadow is not found by looking at yourself. It is found by noticing your reactions to other people, especially the women who fascinate you. The woman you cannot stop watching. The woman who irritates you. The woman you secretly envy. The woman you immediately call selfish, arrogant, cold, wild, intimidating, attention-seeking, too sexual, too ambitious, too much. Jung wrote extensively about projection, the unconscious process through which something within ourselves can become experienced primarily through another person. This does not mean every criticism you have of another person is secretly about you. Sometimes someone really is behaving badly, but pay attention when your reaction carries unusual emotional electricity. Because what you condemn in another woman may be a distorted version of something you have forbidden in yourself. Try this. Think of a woman who triggers a strong reaction in you. Name the trait. Then don't ask, am I secretly just like her? Ask something much more interesting. Where does 5% of this quality live in me? Perhaps what you call selfishness contains the capacity to prioritize yourself. Perhaps what you call arrogance contains confidence. Perhaps what you call coldness contains boundaries. Perhaps what you call aggression contains decisiveness. Perhaps what you call attention-seeking contains the courage to be visible. Perhaps the woman who is too much simply permits herself to occupy space you were taught to vacate. The goal isn't to become her. It is to ask what she has permission to express that you do not. Number 2. Stop performing the good woman. Jung used the word persona to describe the social face we present to the world. A persona is not inherently false. We all need one. The problem begins when you mistake the mask for your entire identity. For a woman, the mask might read, the good daughter, the perfect mother, the agreeable girlfriend, the understanding wife, the peacemaker, the selfless one, the woman who never needs help, the woman who never gets angry, the woman who keeps everyone comfortable. And eventually the question becomes, what does maintaining this identity cost you? Start listening for certain phrases in your mind. I should. I have to. A good woman would. People will think. I don't want them to be upset. Then ask, whose voice is that? Is it actually yours? Or are you obeying a rule you inherited so long ago that it now sounds like your own voice? Dark feminine awakening begins when you differentiate goodness from obedience. You can be kind and still say no. You can be compassionate and still leave. You can love someone and refuse to rescue them. You can understand someone's pain without volunteering to become the place where they deposit it. You can be a good woman without being an endlessly convenient one. Number 3. Reclaim your anger. Many women have been taught to fear their anger. So anger becomes tears, anxiety, overthinking, resentment, exhaustion, or a conversation rehearsed 27 times in the shower that never actually happens. But anger itself is not automatically destructive. Sometimes anger is information. It says, something crossed a line. Something matters to me. I said yes when I meant no. I'm carrying something that doesn't belong to me. I keep betraying myself to keep this relationship peaceful. The goal is not to unleash every angry impulse. Jung's shadow work was never an instruction to become possessed by whatever emerges from the unconscious. The goal is consciousness, so instead of asking only, how do I make this anger disappear? Ask, what is this anger trying to protect? Then translate the answer into mature action, not revenge, not cruelty, not chaos. A conversation, a decision, a request, a boundary. Sometimes the most integrated expression of rage is a calm sentence. No, that doesn't work for me. Number 4. Teach your body the meaning of no. Sometimes your mind is still negotiating long after your body has already answered. Your jaw tightens, your shoulders rise, your stomach contracts. You lean backward, your chest becomes heavy. You feel the immediate impulse to create distance, and then your conditioning arrives. Don't make this awkward. Maybe you're overreacting. Just do it. Be nice. So you override yourself. Begin noticing the earliest physical signal that appears when you don't want something. Not because the body is magically infallible, but because your body can reveal reactions your social persona has become very skilled at editing. Practice saying simple sentences aloud. No, not tonight. I need space. That doesn't work for me. I've already answered. Notice which sentence makes you want to explain yourself. Notice which one creates guilt. Notice which one makes you afraid of being disliked. That discomfort may show you exactly where your work is. Because one of the most powerful abilities a woman can develop is the ability to withstand temporary disapproval without immediately abandoning herself to make it disappear. Number 5. End the audition. This is where dark feminine energy changes relationships completely. A woman who is auditioning enters a room asking, "Do they like me? Am I attractive enough? Am I interesting enough? Did I say the wrong thing? Will he choose me? How do I keep him interested? What can I become so that he won't leave?" But when a woman begins to reclaim herself, the direction of evaluation changes. She remembers, "I'm also choosing. Do I like him? Do I trust what I experience around him? Do his actions match his words? Do I become more myself in this relationship or less? Does this friendship nourish me? Does this opportunity align with the life I actually want?" She stops treating acceptance as the prize. This does not make her arrogant. It makes her discerning. And suddenly she is no longer performing for admission into someone else's life. She is deciding who receives admission into hers. Number 6. Listen to what your unconscious has been trying to tell you. Jung considered dreams one of the important ways unconscious material becomes visible. So instead of deciding beforehand what your dark feminine is supposed to look like, become curious about the images your own psyche produces. Before sleep, write down one question. What am I afraid to want? What anger am I refusing? What does my good woman identity exclude? Or simply, show me what part of my vitality I'm not consciously living. Then notice what appears. Not as prophecy, not as supernatural instruction, and not according to some internet dictionary that tells you every snake means one thing and every ocean means another. Ask what the image means to you. What does it remind you of? What emotion accompanies it? Where does that same feeling exist in your waking life? Perhaps your unconscious does not need to tell you the future. Perhaps it is trying to show you something about the present that your conscious identity keeps refusing to see. Number 7. Become willing to let an old version of you die. Every real transformation includes a loss, because you cannot become someone new while insisting on preserving every identity that kept the old life intact. At some point, you may have to relinquish the woman who needs everyone to understand her, the woman who rescues, the woman who proves, the woman who chases, the woman who confuses being needed with being loved, the woman who accepts crumbs because losing the relationship feels more frightening than losing herself. This is the symbolic descent found again and again in myth. Something old must be relinquished before something new can return. But be careful here. You don't need to destroy every former version of yourself. She may have protected you. People-pleasing may once have kept you connected. Perfectionism may once have earned you safety. Silence may once have prevented conflict you weren't equipped to survive. Thank those strategies for what they did, and then ask whether they are still qualified to lead your life. Because awakening is not declaring war on the woman you used to be. It is releasing her from a job she no longer needs to perform. And then you return, not with a new costume, not with a colder personality, not believing you are superior to other women, not manipulating people so they fear losing you. You return with something much quieter: authority, discernment, choice. You know what you want. You recognize what you don't. You can hear anger without being ruled by it. You can experience desire without being ashamed of it. You can love without disappearing. You can say no without constructing a courtroom argument explaining why your no is reasonable. And perhaps most importantly, You stop asking other people to grant you permission to become yourself. That is what makes this transformation so powerful. The deepest dark feminine energy is not, "I can make you stay." It is, "I will not abandon myself to keep you." It is not, "Everyone must desire me." It is, "I no longer measure my worth by who desires me." It is not, "I am dangerous." It is, "I am conscious." Because the goal of meeting the shadow was never to live permanently in darkness. It was to enter what had been hidden, recover what belonged to you, and bring it back into the light of conscious choice. That is individuation, coming closer to the person you actually are beneath the identities you inherited. And perhaps the woman you have been trying so hard to become is not someone you need to create at all. Perhaps she has been there the entire time, waiting beneath the pleasing, beneath the proving, beneath the fear, beneath the performance, not asking to control you, only asking to finally be included. And when you stop exiling her, something changes. You stop chasing, you stop auditioning, you stop bargaining against your own knowing. You become harder to manipulate because you're no longer terrified of disapproval. You become harder to abandon because you have stopped abandoning yourself. And you become unforgettable for a reason that has nothing to do with performance. You have become whole. If you're walking this path toward greater self-knowledge, sovereignty, and psychological freedom, subscribe to the sovereign path. Because becoming yourself is not a single awakening. It is a return, and the path back to yourself has already begun.